YouTube, Chris back with Audio Obsession, back with a new video. So I got a couple things in, I got 4 records to show you on this one that just recently came in, and all 4 I'm super excited about, as per everything that I show. But first, I'm going to let you know what I'm listening to, and unfortunately it's going to be a bit of a sad note. I have shown this band before, a good handful of times, Shallow, North Dakota, out of Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. And here, I'll show you the backside here. So I had mentioned on a previous video the drummer and singer, which is this guy right here, Tony Jacome. Unfortunately, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and unfortunately just recently passed away. So I was completely gutted when I heard this news. It was like absolutely devastating because this band was a huge part of me growing up, especially because they were literally like the first band that I got to go see, like finally getting to get out and see bands or whatever, and they completely blew me away, like absolutely blew me away. So to hear such sad news, especially considering Tony was literally like my age, so cancer's a bitch. Nothing else you can say. So check this band out if you haven't. Absolute killer album. They put out a handful of killer albums. Great band. Rest in power, Tony. So, to start off, I was super excited to get this because I had been waiting for quite some time for it. And yeah, the first album that I checked out from this band was like an EP, and it was spreading like wildfire. And I ended up finding out about this band from overseas, from somebody else doing a review. And yeah, ever since I've been locked in, and yeah, blown away by this one right here. And it is from none other than Toronto, Canada's Parallax Occlusion. And this is their Ray Traces of Death album. EP. Check out that cover and that killer logo. Awesome art. So the artist for this cover is... It was a company, it's Diabolist Art. Here, I'll show you the back. Got the track listing here. 3 songs, 2 on side A, 1 on side B. And yeah, this album is huge. Absolutely huge. The production on this thing is so massive. Like it's unbelievably massive. The guitar tones, everything, it's just thick and heavy. Absolutely a huge powerhouse album. Now, if you're like me and you failed to read first prior to putting it on, this starts off as an incredible Death Doom album. And then when you realize you got it on the wrong speed and put it on 45 where it should have been, still an amazing frickin' album. So they've got, I would say, Death Doom influences. There's definitely times where it's got that, like that pace and everything, and even the riffing and style. It'll then go into like, say, a mid-pace death metal, and then all of a sudden it'll just like take off into insanity, like where it just gets all hectic and absolutely incredible stuff. Show you this one. I ended up getting just the your traditional black, and making a mess here, move some stuff around. So it came out on Blood Harvest. So they always put these cool little like OBI strips there. And came with a sticker. But yeah, these guys are putting Toronto on the map, I swear. Like, it is... The whole album itself it's cavernous. Like, you've heard people, even me, use cavernous, and generally it's like describing vocals. I know I describe vocals that way. But the album, to me, start to finish, is cavernous, and that means everything, all the parts included, the guitar, the bass, drums, like everything as a whole, it just seems so big and cavernous. So kudos to the production on this, and of course to the band for just turning out something so massive. And here we got the insert. So we've got, which is, I kind of like how they did this, a little bit different. So you got your lyrics in there with some, of course, some killer skull artwork in there. And then we got that side here. So yeah, it's just like vocally, the vocals on this, it's not one of those predominant out in front vocals. So it's, to me, like another instrument that adds to the band, which creates just this big atmosphere that comes off this album. Riffing like crazy, absolutely, it's got this technical edge to it, and it sounds killer. And it starts right off the gate, right out of the gate, it's just got this, it sets the tempo and the mood, and it's like, you start getting your head moving. It is just, it's amazing. The way this EP ends, it's got, okay, here, I'll show you. Geometric Dismemberment. This last song here, of course, it's huge. It's a killer freaking song, but it's the way it ends that really grabs me. It's the last little bit just has this kind of building melody that just kind of keeps coming at you, and it sounds simple, but yet it grabs you. Like, it's, I don't know what it is. It's just, it's got this awesome melody, and this is where I feel like some of this Death Doom is coming in, where a little bit of the melody from that style. And it is awesome. Absolutely killer. I love this record. Just like I loved their previous, but this one, I believe they definitely stepped up a little bit. It sounds like the band. Nothing's really changed that much. It just, there's something about this one really piques my interest. Huge. So, and this is a, of course, 2021 release. And yeah, absolutely amazing stuff. I can't wait for these guys to put out full length, which I know there's talks about getting that in the works. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm definitely going to be front and center when these guys put out something, full length. And even just little added stuff, like you've got cello being played on this, and you're thinking, how do you work cello in? Give it a listen. It works in quite well. It's absolutely amazing. I love this record, and I'm extremely glad that I jumped on it, because I was not gonna miss out on this. And next we are sticking with Canada. So this next band I came across I wouldn't say accidentally, from Spotify, listening to I don't know what I was listening to, but then this got suggested to me, and it was one of those where you kind of stop and go, okay, I gotta go and see who this is. And it was absolutely pummeling, so I had to then stop and start from the beginning and listen to the entire album. I only got a song in before I was surfing away trying to figure out where I can get a copy, And I just so happened to find it on their Bandcamp page. And the band is from Ottawa, Ontario. That's Deformatory. And the album title is Inversion of the Unseen Horizon. And this has got a pretty killer cover art as well. Lots of stuff going on there when you really get in there and start looking at it. Amazing stuff in here. So the artist, gotta look over at my notes so I can remember here, is Paul Gerard. Did this art here. I love the logo too. Looks absolutely killer. Here, I'll show you the back here. So this is a two-piece. Now, this album is super riffy. It has got machine gun drumming like you would not believe. The double bass on this thing is murderous. Absolutely murderous. I found myself listening to it, and actually I was listening again today, and I'd be doing something, just listening away, and I'd just stop and smile and start laughing. Not because it was funny or stupid or anything, it was just the fact that, god damn, that is so good. And I had to sit and laugh going, where do these guys come up with this? Like, just me listening as a fan, it's like, unbelievable. I mean, even, okay, yeah, I play guitar. I am nowhere near, like, the expertise, like, people like this. Nowhere near. Like, not even in the same century. But I understand the technical ability, and I know what it takes to do that, and these guys blow me away. This is pure pummeling technical death metal. Start to finish. That's what it is, that's what you get with it, and it is unbelievably heavy. They got a fantastic guitar tone. Like I said, the drumming is just freaking insane. Literally, the guitars, the vocals, and the drums are insane on this album. Just fantastic. Vocal-wise, deep guttural vocals. Like, you take Glenn Benton from Deicide and you make it deeper and you make them sound even more evil. And that's what you got for vocals. And for like a tech death band like this, that is the quintessential vocal for me. Anyways, that's what I want to hear from a band like this. And man, oh man, are these vocals just nailed down. They're just incredible. And those were some of the times where I'd be listening and I'm just starting to smile. I'm going, man, these guys are nailing it. Absolutely killer. And let's see here. Yeah, no inner. So I was able to get myself a nice blue copy. There's a couple little swirls in there, but I don't even think you'll be able to see that. But yeah, really, really cool. Looks great, sounds incredible. Let me see if I can get this back in here. So yeah, start to finish, just your brutal technical death. And I'm extremely grateful I found out about these guys. And yeah, I look forward to plenty more. This stuff, this album actually came out in 2021, so this is a brand new album. And I'll definitely, everything I got here, I'm gonna post some links, so if you haven't checked anything that I show out, head over to the links and give them a listen and drop some coin if you can. Now, this next one, so I learned about this band through Anthony at Metal Miners. He had an update video, and as soon as he showed the album and gave the title, the band name, instantly I was intrigued. It sparked my attention like right away. And then his description of it, it's like, okay, so I paused his video and I decided to go check out their Bandcamp page. And literally, I was almost through a song and I said, okay, I've heard enough. I'm buying it. So they had 2 albums available. EP that I'm going to show here, and then yeah, it's a full length. Okay, making sure I'm losing my mind here. EP and a full length. So these guys are from Belgium, and unfortunately, I've got bad news with this. It infuriates me to no end that people work for the postage, like the post office, wherever, and they don't care about people's things. They clearly don't care about their own job. And it shows in how they treat people's packages. I was devastated when I saw the condition of the package prior to me opening it. Literally, a whole quarter of it was completely folded over. And I wondered why the mail lady, when she dropped it off, got in her car really quickly and just waved and sped off. And I think because she knew I was going to blow my top when I saw it. Who did it? I don't know. And but the record's fine. That's all that really matters. But I'm a collector, and things like this irk me. Anyways, I'm moving on. Get that rant out of the way. Moss Upon the Skull. Now check out this logo. I love their logo. That is so awesome. So this particular, this is an EP, and it's The Scourge of Ages. And I got in contact with the guys, and they were nice enough to sign it for me. Fortunately, they signed it right where it got completely crushed and folded over here. I kind of fixed it, but well, that's after me fixing it. The only thing that literally saved it is because, and both of them were completely folded over, the fact that they're both heavyweight vinyl basically saved it, because the cardboard wrapped around the vinyl because it was thick enough that it didn't get destroyed. Thankfully. I know it made it a long way across the pond, but oh man, that drives me freaking nuts. Anyways, enough of that. We're talking about the band here. This band is awesome. These guys are killer. Like I said, when I saw Anthony's video, I had to check them out, and like I said, didn't even get a song through, and they are... It's hard for me to describe because I don't find that they actually sound like somebody, which is awesome to hear. When you can describe a band that you can say, you know what, yeah, there's hints here and there, influences, but they don't sound like something that you can describe. I love stuff like that. So these guys, they describe themselves as like an organic death metal band. Pure organic death metal. What does that mean? It could mean a bunch of things. But when you actually listen to them, you understand, I think, what they're after. So instead of going for, say, like Deformatory being a tech death band, production is like massive, like big production, like I don't want to say overused or over the top, but just, you know, big. It's not all just stripped down and natural. Where Moss Upon the Skull, they do it a more natural sound to it without over adding too much stuff. So it's not like you're hearing a complete wall of guitars. And actually, to be quite honest, the distortion that they're using is like a cleaned up distortion. It's really not a wall of guitar noise, so it's got the clarity to it, so you can hear the articulation. You know, and these guys, trust me, they're extremely technical. And what makes them really interesting is that they kind of wrap everything what seems like around the drummer. The drummer is not a straightforward death metal drummer at all. He does of course, you know, throw in the double kicking and you gotta throw that in. Like that's just part of the job. You gotta do that, right? But it's in how he does his beats. They're not standard beats. It's not just blast beats. It's very prog oriented. Like I'm picturing Neil Peart from Rush taking on the drums in this band, like that style where it's, you know, very time oriented, and it's always interesting. Like when you're picking the beats out, you're listening to it, it's not straightforward, it's got some movement to it. And I find that vocally, the guitars, the bass, they all work with that and around it to give it this really unique, amazing sound. Like absolutely amazing. Vocally, I've been trying to think of who he reminds me of, and I'm literally going nuts. There was something about it I was just trying to pick up. It is very unique, so when I hear his voice, I'm gonna know right away who it is. But it had this kind of like Edge of Sanity type vocal to it, early Edge of Sanity, and but different. I don't know. It's Edge of Sanity-ish, something like that. Hard to describe. But anyways, so this EP has a kind of a cool insert. It's like a little, well, I wouldn't say booklet, it just folds out once, but so we got lyrics and a little bit of art in there. Of course, some more art. And the front cover art for this EP here was done by Michael DeClear, or Michael DeClear, something like that. Hope I'm pronouncing it right. And more bad news, unfortunately. Mind you, this happened, I believe, 2015-ish. Don't quote me on it, I'm not sure, but this right here is Tristan, who was their founding guitarist for the band. And unfortunately, in 2014 or 2015, he passed away from cancer as well. I believe he was 34, which is like, man, these ages that people are going, it's just, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, the guitar work is just, it's tremendous. It's extremely technical and proggy without being like prog, but it's not where it's like too technical that it loses you. There's been some bands that are just, they're full on technical and it just kind of goes by you and you just gotta go, what the hell happened here? You gotta keep going back, and it doesn't always absorb right away. This is not one of those albums, you soak it in right away, but you hear the technicality in it, and it doesn't lose you, and it's got melody to it. Riffing like crazy too, but there's good melody, and it keeps you like intertwined in the songs. Each song has its own kind of sound to it, so it's its own platform, one into the next, but yet it all comes together. Like it's something that you just got to listen to and absolutely appreciate. Trust me, you will appreciate it, and I certainly can't thank Anthony at Metal Miners enough for posting about this next album that I'm going to show you of theirs, because I am a huge fan now. Absolute huge fan. Great freaking band. And that's where it brings me to this one, which was 2018 release, 2019, somewhere around there. And In Vengeful Reverence. Try to spit that out. Okay, anyways, moving on. Look at this art. Here, I'm trying to do it so that I can see that it's even coming through or not. This is cool. Right here, this cover art kind of defines their organic views on how they're doing this music. Absolutely amazing. And this cover art was done by a gentleman named J.F. LeMay. Absolutely killer stuff. I love this. Black art like this with skulls, and it's my favorite. And of course, once again, nice enough to sign my copy, personalize it for me. And we got, here's the back end. And in here, so we got, you know, your lyric sheet, art, picture of the band there. And yeah, fantastic. This is a great album. This is great. I honestly cannot wait to see where this band goes from this, because I had to keep playing it over and over again. Just listening to the riffs, and oh man, these guys are through and through musicians. They know what they're doing. Very talented. And of course, I got, you know, your typical Black Wax again. And yeah, definitely check this band out. Absolutely amazing stuff. Just checking my notes here, making sure I didn't miss anything good. I have a tendency to have notes here and then I never use them, and then after I'm done I go, oh yeah, why didn't I say that? And then somebody says, well, why don't you just edit it? Yeah, no. No, I don't play that. Too much work. I'm not going to make this like a job. This is not a job. This is fun. So, whatever. Messes up, my camera falls over, all kinds of stuff. That's just what happens. Oh, and I forgot. With that purchase came some stickers, which will see their way to my toolbox when I get back to work. Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff. If you have not heard these guys, all these albums that I've shown, including this, you gotta check them out. I'll leave some links. Amazing music, absolutely amazing music. Because that's what I'm interested in showing here. It's what I consider amazing music, and yeah. So next one hopefully won't be as long away, and yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.